It is the preacher's job to preach the gospel that will bring the people to the cross of Christ, but not bring his or herself to that person. Years ago, as I walked into the neighborhood, I witnessed the word to a group of men around their 60s. And as I started to preach to them, one stopped me and said, I used to be a pastor, and he had a beer in his hand and a blunt in his mouth. And as he said this, one of his friends laughed and put his arms around him and said, yeah, but we won him to the world. When his friend said this, he walked away in shame, while his friends laughed at him and said, continue with us and we'll win you too. How did the gap theory came about? When Christians bargained with their convictions and said, we can come agreement with science. But many years before that, science was measured by the standards of the Bible. How are we supposed to see changes in people's lives if we are changing the church to suit their sin? If they get offended at the atonement, are we to preach an unbloody cross? If they don't desire to believe in the Trinity, should we take the deity off the Father and off the Son? Or should we preach only one among the Trinity? If the early church rather suffer persecution than to burn incense to Caesar as a god, will years later the same church persecute those who